The party was exactly as I had feared. Music thumped through the room, lights flashed wildly, and the mingling scents of perfume and champagne hung thick in the air. I had agreed to come, convincing myself it was simply a social obligation, yet an underlying tension gnawed at me. Her morning message, playful and flirtatious, lingered in my mind, unsettling me more than I wanted to admit. As we stepped inside, I forced a polite smile, scanning the crowd for anyone familiar, desperate to shake off the tight knot in my chest. My wife's hand barely brushed mine, her eyes roaming the room with a glint of anticipation and excitement that twisted my stomach. Something about the night felt off, as though it held a revelation I wasn't yet prepared to face. I had barely poured a drink when I saw her. Across the room, she sat on another man's lap, her laughter soft and intimate, impossibly personal. My chest tightened, my throat dry. His arm rested naturally around her waist, and she leaned in effortlessly, as if I didn't exist. A surge of anger hit me, the urge to storm over and confront them both almost overwhelming, but a part of me froze. Instead, I watched. Every glance, every touch, every laugh etched itself into my memory. Acting impulsively would only satisfy her. This was bigger than rage. This was about control. I moved through the crowd, exchanging polite greetings, smiling at people I barely noticed, all while keeping my eyes on them. The noise around me faded into a dull hum. My focus narrowed entirely on her. She looked radiant, carefree, or perhaps deliberately ignoring me. The man's hand brushed hers casually, and I felt betrayal settle in my chest like ice. I forced calm. Years of shared life, trust, and memories swirled through my mind, but I reminded myself that staying composed would yield more power than losing my temper. Anger could wait. Strategy could not. She laughed at something he whispered, tilting her head toward him with ease. My heart sank, yet I remained still. Every instinct urged me to shout, humiliate, or tear the scene apart, but I restrained myself. The intensity of my quiet observation did the work on its own. I noticed a subtle shift in her posture, a brief flicker of unease, but she masked it with practiced poise. The more I watched, the clearer the betrayal became. And yet, the more I realized the control I still held. Patience, calm, and silent authority outweighed any outburst. I approached the edge of the group, maintaining a relaxed stance and a light smile, glass in hand.
She spotted me.
Her laughter faltered, a flash of panic crossing her face. The man beside her noticed too, unease flickering in his eyes. I said nothing. I didn't need to. I lifted my glass subtly, letting it linger in their direction just long enough to send a message. My gaze never wavered, my demeanor calm. The tension tightened around them, almost imperceptibly, yet unmistakable. She excused herself, claiming to check on a friend, and I followed at a measured distance, watching her forced composure and hurried steps. The evening had shifted. The carefree atmosphere had turned into a quiet battlefield where I held all the cards. I mingled, laughed, and charmed the other guests, keeping my focus sharp. She understood my presence and the silent implication, but I refused to give her the confrontation she anticipated. Silence and composure had become my allies. When she returned, she tried to act normal, smoothing her dress and forcing a smile. I greeted her warmly, meeting her eyes evenly. "Everything all right?" I asked casually. Her lips twitched, uncertainty flashed across her face. She searched for anger, for hurt, but I displayed none. My calm unnerved her more than any outburst could have. The room's energy subtly shifted. Whispers began to circulate, curiosity and suspicion pointing toward her. The man who had held her noticed the weight of my presence and the unspoken judgment around them. She tried to make light conversation, but every gesture betrayed her guilt. I smiled, engaged lightly with others, and let quiet observation expose the truth. No confrontation was needed. Sometimes exposure comes through presence, restraint, and letting someone feel the truth silently. Her realization unfolded painfully, and I watched without speaking, the power of quiet authority undeniable. By night's end, she slipped away quietly, avoiding eye contact, while I remained with friends as though nothing had happened. She had been unmasked not by anger or humiliation, but by calm, deliberate observation. I retained my dignity. She lost the satisfaction she sought. My restraint made the betrayal undeniable, leaving her to face it alone. In that moment, I understood that true strength lies in self-control. Silence, wielded correctly, can speak louder than any accusation. As I walked home under the cool night air, a sense of clarity settled over me. I had seen her betrayal, yet I felt liberated. Power is not in shouting or fighting. It is in presence, patience, and composure. The sting of betrayal was real, but it awakened a strength I hadn't known I possessed. And as the quiet night embraced me, one truth was certain. No deceit, no laughter in another's arms could ever take away the calm authority I had discovered within myself. This was my victory, silent, undeniable, and unforgettable.